And then the Irish in the back are all happy about that. Hey, we're all in this together, man. We're all in this together. And then the Lakotas called me up and say, we're ready to ride. I says, okay, good. We'll come ride with you. That's how that movie come. And then they announced that our third pipeline, that one proposal. So, you know, what I'm saying is my reservation is the most northwest reservation in Minnesota. We're not prepared, and within a short period of time, we found that we're facing this sandpiper line. Just north of us is the Alberta Clipper line, which crosses through Leech Lake, Red Lake Reservation, Fond du Lac Reservation. The object of Enbridge's desire is, of course, Superior, and I guess you guys have all been talking about this being the most inland port. That's, you know, that's like a perfect way to go for them. And then they announced that. The sandpiper at first is 375,000 barrels per day. It turns out it can go up to close to 700,000 barrels per day. Then they announced that they want to add the Line 3. They want to abandon this route. You guys all talked about that today, right? Yeah. Abandon Line 3, which goes on Highway 2 and over in northern Minnesota, and then they want to pair it up by the sandpiper. Coming out to be about 1.4 million barrels a day that would cross the northeast corner of my reservation by our largest wild rice bed. Did not talk to us. We asked the state PUC. We asked for maps. We asked for maps, which is what citizens should be able to get on the route commenting. Enbridge told the PUC that they would not give up the maps because they were protected under the Critical Energy Facilities Siting Act. Security. Oh, I didn't even notice the time. I'm going to go a couple over, so you're going to have to like not cane me. I'm working pretty hard. I didn't notice that till now. I should ask you to give me a little bit more. So then we started working on that, you know, because we took us a long time to get the map, but we're in a strong alliance in the north with all our allies, which are lakeshore owners up there, to work on this. And we've been working all through the process. You've been talking about the process. I don't mean to be dismissive about this, and I'm not going to be. I believe in working in every process that is open to you. So let us engage in the PUCs. Let us engage in all the county commissioners. Let us engage in every township board. You know, let us see what we can do to make this democracy work. I am all for that, but at the same time, I'm going to tell you that I'm a little skeptical. I call this a white man's paperwork. You know, nothing is a social construct, nothing personal, okay? That is to say that there's a lot of paper out there, but I'm not saying that paper is intended to protect us. I think that paper is intended to permit processes, not protect water, not protect land, not to protect living beings, you know? And that is what we have to keep our eye on, is that we need to be sure of what we are about, because that is what our responsibility is to be about. You all have been talking about a lot of these things, and there is no safe way for them to move that oil. You cannot move it in a bomb train, and you cannot move it in a pipeline safely. The fact is that it should be left in the ground and it should not be moved. In any case, none of that is going to work out. Those pipelines, they say 99% good. Turns out that the editor of Scientific American, in studying the PHMSA data, found that there's a 57% chance of a catastrophic break in a pipeline. 57%. That's not even as good as flipping a coin, you know? So that is more risk than any of us, whether we are in Nebraska or Lakota Territory or here, are willing to accept, and we cannot accept. They're pigs. You guys all know what pigs are? Yeah. Pigs. Pipeline inspection gauge. Pig. Pig. Funny term. Good pigging, bad pigging. Pigs only go through once every 5 years, do not operate in real time. That is how the Kalamazoo spill occurred. And it is also the fact that the pigs cannot see longitudinal cracks. And you cannot pig every corner. They will never work out. Their systems will never work out. And you cannot complain, you cannot say it is better to have trains than it is to have pipelines, or better to have pipelines than to have trains. You have to be strong about this. My personal position is this. We're in a situation where we are looking at these trains coming our way, and when I see a train, I understand my addiction. I'm going to tell you that that's not going to be something that's popular, but what I'm going to say is that we've been watching coal trains go by for years. And we got used to that level of our addiction and that level of combustion. And we just got totally desensitized and became the people that watch those things. And it's kind of like you want to cook slow or you want to cook fast. You want to blow up. You know what I'm saying? It is all the same thing. And so they transitioned from them coal trains that we all got used to looking at to black, shiny trains that we can see. And when I see those black, shiny trains, they are not good. You know, there's no safety in them, and we all know that because we have a D in infrastructure in this country. And so they're going to fall off and they're going to break like they just did in West Virginia here a couple of days ago. They're bomb trains and they're dangerous. But when I see those trains, at least I can see my addiction moving. If I put it underground, then I go into a good case of denial. And I pretend that that's going to work out for us, and it is not. So you got to stand against both of them and not trade them off. You got to be strong on both of them. You cannot get insurance. You know, this is a conservative state. I know that part of the Dane County strategy, you guys are talking, you know, what's going on is that these companies cannot insure themselves. They cannot insure themselves. Enbridge doesn't have enough money to insure itself. But besides that, James Botsford, who is from northern Wisconsin, who is an attorney who has a farm in North Dakota, found that if the pipeline spill occurred of the Enbridge line, Enbridge is seeking eminent domain over his land and is suing him. In court in North Dakota. The court date is set is August 6th through 11th, and it is a jury trial. We're asking people to come and see that. We're hoping that the Nebraska people come up and join us, Bold, Nebraska, and others to stand with this farmer. It's the first one getting eminent domain on the Enbridge line. So that guy, cool guy like the rest of you, went out to ask his insurance company if his insurance company would insure him if there was a problem after a spill. His insurance company checked 4 insurance companies and he could not get insured. So I'm saying that is that it is a very important, and that is something that people that are very conservative, that are right-wing or that are Republicans, I don't even care, but if you cannot get insurance, that is a public policy problem. That is a problem that is larger than you, and I just wanted to share that, so it's a bigger issue. I want to say kind of in closing, a couple of the things that I think about in this. You know, first of all, I say that, you know, we're here and we really got to unite. I had the privilege of riding with the old Nebraska people, the Cowboys and Indians out in Washington, D.C. You know, I'm an okay horse rider. I'm not a trick rider. My motto is don't get bucked. But, you know, what I want to say is that, you know, it is really important that we unite in all of this, but also that we unite in a multiracial basis. You know, there is a reason that Wisconsin for many years was viewed as the hardest place in the world to put a mine in by the World Mining Journal. Right? Like 2000, they said, you know, cannot put a mine in Wisconsin, the hardest place in the world to put a mine in. That's a badge of honor. You guys should give yourself a big applause for that. In Wisconsin, I got that. You know? But what I'm saying is that that's what we need to be. But that was also because there was an alliance between all the people, no matter what color you were. And that people understood the power of tribal people in the North to uphold the 1837 treaty and the 1855 treaty. Did you notice that? Your laws are not working out. And what we are saying is that we have a right, and we all have a right, we should all have a right to clean water. We should all have a right to rice that the Creator gave us, right? The Creator gave us that right. It should not be taken away, that rice, it should not be taken away by Enbridge or the Koch brothers. Right? Yeah. None of those things. And that is, you know, that is only protected under those treaties. You don't have a law in the United States, you don't have, you know, a constitutional amendment that protects either the rights of nature, the rights of Mother Earth, or the rights of the 7th generation. And that is what we need.
Amen.
That is a longer-term haul because the system is flawed, because it only protects the rights of corporations who are natural persons under law. You know, and we cannot stand for that, and we have to look towards that. But the way we get there is by working together, you know, over the long haul. It is a local struggle that must be united, and we have to work together and be strong and support each other in this struggle. And be courageous. Be courageous, you know, because it is the only time we got. The second thing is remember that we have to have vision of where we are going. You have a DN infrastructure in this country, and that DN infrastructure is not remedied by $750 billion worth of new oil pipelines. And that is what the industry is proposing, and new trains. You know, we need trains that move people, and pipelines that move water and sewer, right? You need pipelines that make sense. And then you need to figure out how to make things so that, like, over the long haul, it will work out for all of us. I'll leave you with this quote. You know, I really like this quote. And it is came out of South Dakota. as these Lakota people were at a ceremony on Pine Ridge Reservation, and the Spirit came in. The Spirit said to him, I asked them if I could tell this story. The Spirit came in, the Spirit said, how long are you going to let others determine the future for your children? Are we not warriors? When our ancestors rode into battle, they did not know what the consequences were going to be. All they knew is if they did nothing, things would not go well for their children. Do not operate out of a place of fear. Operate out of a place of hope, because with hope everything is possible. The time is now and the movement is here. And think about that. What I know is you got to love water, not oil. Got a choice between the two, and you got to stand for the right thing. Let's put our minds together. Take care of our children and the descendants who have not yet arrived. So thank you very much for your time and good.